my horror night.
Welcome to the Last Video Store. I'm your host, Bud Haddonfield, and I've been throwing some ideas in my head about a new upcoming episode, and I figured why not talk about my top 10 favorite horror movies of all times. And I'm going to include 2 honorable mentions. These movies are mainstream, so it's kind of like not my other list, how I usually like to take movies that not a lot of people have heard of. You know, the casual fan maybe, but the diehards definitely know all these movies. But I can't fake these. These are my top 10 or top 12 favorites. And yeah, they got to be some mainstream stuff because these are all movies I found at a very young age in my childhood, whether it was the late 80s or the early 90s. So before I go any further, please like and subscribe, and I want you to comment what are some of your favorite movies. All right, my first honorable mention is going to be The Lost Boys. Sorry about the goddamn glare. Sorry about the glare, but The Lost Boys was just an awesome movie, I believe from 1987. It was the first Corey's movie, directed by Joel Schumacher, who's done a lot of things in the past. He's passed away since then, but it stars Kiefer Sutherland, Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, the all-time beautiful Jamie Gertz, fucking Buford T. Justice's grandson, Jackie Gleason. Well, I can't think of his name. Jason Patrick, yeah. But The Lost Boys is just a very cool, fun vampire movie. Very quotable. If anybody's seen it, I'm pretty sure they thoroughly enjoy it. And if not, it's okay because this is my opinions and, you know, you respect yours. So my first honorable mention is going to be The Lost Boys.
Michael and Sam have just moved to Santa Carla, California. They're about to discover its secret.
Notice anything unusual about Santa Carla yet?
No, it's a pretty cool place. If you're a Martian.
Or a vampire?
When you're a stranger, when you scream.
So where are you? The flying nun?
I'm your brother, Sammy. Help me!
Stay back! Stay back!
What's happening to me, Star? Get yourself a good sharp steak. Drive it right through his heart.
You're a vampire, Michael. My own brother, a damn blood-sucking vampire. Oh, you wait till Mom finds out, buddy.
When a vampire buys it, it's never a pretty sight.
Michael, they're coming! Oh, shit!
All right, my next and last honorable mention is going to be 1981's The Howling. This was a very fun movie. I got to watch it at a young age. Got to see titties, which is always fun. Joe Dante directed this. He was coming off of Piranha. Dee Wallace Stone, her husband at the time. Just such a fun movie. The werewolves looked amazing. Just a cool, badass time, and I always remember this poster. So my second honorable mention is The Howling. Again, like I said, I'm not going to talk too much about these movies because these are all mainstream that the hardcore fans or maybe even the casual fans definitely have heard of. So if you haven't seen The Howling, check this one out.
What do you see? Carol.
The Howling. Somewhere in the city, in this human jungle, it begins.
Just try. He's right there.
What do you see?
What's there, Karen?
What do you see, Karen?
What's there?
Somewhere in these woods, in this primal, sensuous, secret place, lies an experience too terrifying for words. And now, all anyone can do is watch and wait.
Tonight I'm going to show you something. Make you believe.
The Howling.
Now, get along to the actual list is going to be a movie that I recently reviewed in its entirety, and it is Night of the Creeps, done by Fred Decker. He had also did The Monster Squad, I think a year after this. Fun movie, Tom Atkins, you get aliens, you get zombies, you get Tom Atkins, and you do get a little bit of titties, so it's always a fun time. So Night of the Creeps, this is a very fun movie, and I know you're gonna get tired of me keep saying this, but these two college kids are trying to join a frat, and they get dared to go to this genetics lab that's within the college and find a body that's just a body, just to dump the corpse somewhere, and they end up coming across this body that has been on ice for several years. And when he wakes up, he unleashes a bunch of little slug-like alien creatures that turn everybody into zombies. So, Night of the Creeps. That fucking glare.
The night of the fall is finally here. For Chris, Cindy, and JC, it's going to be the best night of their lives. But tonight is also the night of the creeps. From a world unknown comes a nightmare unimagined. First, they are under you, around you, on you, and then inside you.
They get in through your mouth, and you walk around while they incubate, even if you're dead.
They are a new breed of terror.
Freeze!
They are a different kind of horror.
Zombies, exploding heads, creepy crawlies. We could have a little problem.
The creeps are taking over.
I got good news and bad news, girls.
What?
The good news is your dates are here.
What's the bad news?
They're dead.
You have never had a night like this. Night of the Creeps. If you scream, you're dead.
Number 9 is going to be Trick or Treats. This is not the actual Blu-ray. Well, it's a Blu-ray. It's just a bootleg Blu-ray, a high-end bootleg Blu-ray. But Synapse Films is doing a Blu-ray transfer of this. Can't wait to see it. It looks amazing on the pictures I've seen online. But Trick or Treat, I believe 1986. You get Mark Price, Gene Simmons, Ozzy Osbourne, Large Marge. Tony Fields is playing this rock god, Sammy Kerr, and he has like a bit of a dark side, but not everybody knows about it. And he dies in a hotel fire. Well, one of his all-time favorite fans, who's from his hometown, the Rag Man, he gets upset that he's passing, and you know, he kind of mourns and whatnot. But the local DJ played by Kisses Gene Simmons gives Ragman the very last album, and within the album lies the soul of Sammy Kerr. So, great movie.
Wake up, sleepyhead.
It's body time!
Rock and roll will never die. At least not this Halloween.
You've heard of raising spirits from the dead by incantations, right?
Yes.
I did that by playing a record backwards.
You're kidding.
Sammy Kerr. He's a rock and roll nightmare.
I am a big fan of yours. I've got all your records. Shut up!
You're the bay, and they is you.
This message is meant for me.
How can you listen to this stuff?
Shut it off! Shut it off!
What have you done to your stereo?
I wanted a new one.
Sammy Kerr. His fans won't let him die. He won't let them live.
You should be loyal to your hero. Make it turn on you.
or treat.
Looks like we better check out the party punch.
Moving along, my number 8 pick is Stephen King's Silver Bullet. This was such a great movie. Again, we get another movie with Corey Haim, Gary Busey. This is, I believe, 1986 as well, 1985. And it's based on a Stephen King novel. Is it a novel? I don't know if it's direct. Anyway, I'm splitting hairs here. What it is a bunch of people start dying within this very small town. And there's a mystery of what's killing them. And you get I don't know if crippled's a good term, but a boy in a wheelchair played by Corey Haim. And one night while popping firecrackers, he sees a werewolf. And now they have to solve the mystery, him, his sister, and his Uncle Red, played by Gary Busey, to see exactly who is the werewolf killing off everybody in the town. Great looking werewolf. I know everybody like shits on it, but I always thought it was pretty damn cool. And I'm talking about with the dream sequence when you got the werewolves playing the pianos and everything and whatnot. They all look good. And Don Coscarelli was the original director of this until he was fired by Dino De Laurentiis. But it was fun. 8 pick Silver Bullet.
It began in May, and every month after that, whenever the moon was full, it happened again. And again.
What was that? It's over there. Don't point that at me.
Nobody knew who or what was responsible.
Come on.
They only knew it had to be stopped. Now, from the master of mystery and suspense, Stephen King's Silver Bullet. Silver Bullet, the last glimmering hope.
Number 7 is going to be the always amazing Killer Clowns from Outer Space. We just got this brand new 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray release from Scream Factory. The clowns are just the shit, man. Everybody that I know that watched this movie absolutely adores it. It's so much fun. The effects are so great. The Chiodo brothers, I believe is how you pronounce the names, brought this movie to life. They were special effects guru. They worked on Critters along with Ernest Scared Stupid. And it's literally about these alien clowns going around just collecting people up to feed off of them. So awesome, cool. Awesome, cool. I don't know if that's a thing, but it's awesome, cool. God damn it! You got Suzanne Snyder, who was in Night of the Creeps, along with Return of the Living Dead Part 2, which was a fun movie in itself. But that one's not on the list, but a close relative is. But everybody knows Killer Clowns from Outer Space. 1988, fun shit, man.
It was a night like any other night. Then something happened.
You see that?
Something different.
It's no shooting star.
Why here? Why now? Why clowns? They've been knocking him dead all over the universe.
What are you gonna do? Knock my block off?
Soon they'll be doing it at a theater near you.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
just cruising through the galaxy and stopped here for a bite to eat.
You don't need a police pal, you need a psychiatrist.
They want to play games? They're messing with the wrong guy.
What are you in for?
Killer clowns from outer space. It's crazy.
All right, number 6 is going to be a movie that I found while looking through the blockbusters in the early 1990s, and it is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I had not seen the first one yet. This was the first one I've seen out of it, and I put on the movie in my grandma's house with her little VHS tape, VCR, and the scene at the very beginning where Leatherface is behind the truck and he starts cutting into the car, the two college kids, and he cuts the dude's head off. Like, I instantly fell in love with this movie. It was super gory. Always a good time. You got Bill Johnson as Leatherface. You got Bill Moseley in one of his very first movies is Chop Top. Dennis Hopkins, Caroline Williams. She's always amazing in everything you're in. And Tobe Hooper came back and directed it. And because I love this movie so much, I had to go out and find the original one. And man, did I have so much fun with this franchise in the 90s.
13 years ago, audiences across America were horrified by the savagery of a faceless killer. In the wake of this bizarre rampage, he vanished. Now, after more than a decade of silence, he has come out of hiding. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, The Buzz is back, directed by Tobe Hooper.
All right, we got 5 movies left, and my number 5 pick is going to be the original Phantasm. This movie I absolutely loved. It was one that was playing on television one late night. Saw the tall man. Definitely a spooky motherfucker. I absolutely fell in love with this movie. There's not much that I can't say about the Phantasm series. There's 5 movies in its total. Don Coscarelli directed the first 4, because I don't think he did the last one. But all 5 of them are a good time. Number 5 is not so much, but all the other ones leading up to it is great. And it's just great for what it was. So Phantasm has kind of a hard story to explain. This one boy, his parents had died. He lives with his older brother, and he's scared that his older brother's going to leave him alone, so he follows him everywhere he goes. So the older brother has a band with one of his friends and the local ice cream man, which is played by the always cool Reggie Bannister. People start getting killed off. Like I said, the other friend, not Reggie Bannister, but the other one, he gets killed by the woman in lavender in the cemetery. And as they're attending the funeral, Mike is the boy's name. He sees something that kind of piques his interest, because the tall man, Jedediah Morningside, is acting a bit peculiar, a bit different, and he goes to investigate, and he unravels this whole thing, which is Phantasm in itself. So my number 5 pick, Phantasm. If you have not seen this movie, please check it out.
Phantasm. Is it a nightmare? Phantasm. Is it an illusion? Phantasm. Is it an evil?
to take me home.
But why?
No questions. You must take me home.
Phantasm. Is it a fantasy? Phantasm. Is it alive?
There was nobody driving.
Whatever it is, if this one doesn't scare you, you're already dead. Phantasm.
All right, down to number 4, and that pick is going to be Night of the Demons. This was one I ended up watching with my aunt in the very early 90s, and I was under 10 years old, and it was a bit extreme, especially with the lipstick scene, if everybody have seen this, obviously. But Linnea Quigley was in this movie. You get to see her naked, and this is one of the movies where I fell in love with her. Such a beautiful, great actress, just very iconic. The demons looked really cool, spooky story, and it occurred on Halloween, so what's there not to love? This movie came from 1988, and it was directed by Kevin S. Tenney, who went on to do a bunch of other movies. I think before this he did Witch Trap, and then he ended up doing Witchboard and just some other movies throughout the 80s and 90s. He did The Cellar, which I reviewed on here a while back, and that was always a fun time. But just Night of the Demons, man, is just so great. It's a cool Halloween movie. The effects and kills look super cool. It spawned 2 sequels and a remake, and they're all really a good time if you check them out, if you have seen them or whatnot. So all of them are still in print. I know Scream Factory just released the first 3. The Blu-ray for the remake is out of print, but you can find it on DVD easily, and you can find it streaming on Amazon Prime. So number 4, Night of the Demons.
A funeral parlor? Way out here?
I can't believe we're gonna party here.
Now it's time for party games.
Yeah.
How about a past life seance? A seance?
What the hell was that?
They're pure evil. They're demons.
Oh, don't tell me you're leaving. Where you going? The party's just begun.
Night of the Demons.
Rest assured, we've got something wonderful planned for you.
My number 3 pick is going to be Fright Night. This was a movie, came out in 1985. I remember watching it at a very, very young age, and I fell in love with it. Just such a cool concept that my neighbor might be a vampire and he's going to kill me, and I got to do what I can to survive the night, break till daylight. So, Fright Night. Awesome movie. The sequel that came out a couple years later was amazing as well. The remake was pretty good, but for some reason they decided to do a part 2, which was remaking itself, which was just, it was confusing as hell and we didn't need it. Great movie.
What would you do if you accidentally discovered the house next door was occupied by something not human? Something horrifying. Something unspeakably evil. No one believes you.
Mom, I didn't have a nightmare.
Not your mom.
They did kill a girl over there.
Not your girlfriend.
Charlie, is this some sort of a trick to get me back?
Not even the police.
Look, I know it's crazy. I know that, but look, Lieutenant!
It knows that you know. You'll do anything to protect yourself. But it will do anything to protect its secret. Fright Night. If you love being scared, this could be the night of your life. Fright Night. Coming to your neighborhood this summer.
My number 2 pick is An American Werewolf in London. This was just such a cool, iconic film. I know I talked about The Howling, and that came out in 1981, and so did this movie. And Rick Baker, who did all the effects on American Werewolf in London, was doing the effects on The Howling, and pretty much quit to do this. And I believe he won an Oscar for his makeup designs. So very fun movie. It was directed by John Landis, who pretty much at that time, he did a bunch of comedies, Animal House, 1981, just a bunch of shit like that. And you come up with this movie that has some comedic elements, but it also has some of the coolest looking werewolves that I've seen. Because like all the other werewolves were, you know, men walking around. This was actually like a beast, like a mindless beast that doesn't have like the thought process of a man, like some of the other werewolf movies out there. But this one was cool, great, very suspenseful and eerie. Like the atmosphere is just great when they're in the slaughtered lamb. Absolutely love this movie. So number 2 pick, An American Werewolf in London.
La 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 la. Isn't this fun? Lovely stroll on the moors. Did you hear that? I heard that. What is it? You think it's a dog? Nice doggy. Good boy.
What happened to them?
Well, the police report said they were attacked by an escaped lunatic.
A wolf. My friend Jack was just here. Told me that I will become a monster in 2 days.
Your dead friend, Jack.
Yes.
Gotta believe me, David.
Believe what? You're one of the undead, and I'm a werewolf.
Tomorrow night's the full moon. You're gonna change.
A what?
You'll become...
I know. A monster.
A naked American man stole my balloon.
What?
What did I do last night?
You don't remember?
The last remaining werewolf must be destroyed. It's you, David.
Run! Good Lord.
Number 1 pick, surprise, surprise, The Return of the Living Dead. This is a movie I'll probably watch once every couple of months. I watched it 2 weeks ago, and then I watched it last week. It's just such a great zombie movie. This was the first American-made movie that we had running zombies. This was the first zombie movie where zombies ate brains or cried out for brains. And man, this movie was so great. It had its own backstory. John Russo worked on Night of the Living Dead with George A. Romero, and they kind of parted ways. So one kept one version, the other one kept the other. That's why when you had Night of the Living Dead, and then you had Dawn of the Dead, it dropped the living part. and John Russo was able to hold on to that legally. So he released this movie. Somewhat it's supposed to be a satire, but man, was it great. Just the way the zombies looked in here, running, creepy ass zombies, the gore, also Linnea Quigley. It's just, I love everything about this. This was one, again, I watched at a very young age, and of course when Trash is dancing naked on the tombstones, I'm like, oh, what the fuck is this? And instantly fell in love. I have bought every version, every edition of this movie that came out. I just love it so damn much. I buy so much of the memorabilia for it, like the action figures, and I had to get the album. Wonderful, wonderful lady got that for me. But everything there is out there, Return of the Living Dead, is just amazing. It spawned 4 sequels. The first 2 was really good. The last 2, kind of shitty, but also, like, it is what it is. Just check it out and have fun with it. So.
In the dark of the night, something strange is going on.
You see that movie, Night of the Living Dead? Sure. They ship those bodies east. Well, say hello.
The dead have risen from the grave.
Mister, there's 100 of those things out there.
How many did you say?
100?
And now the question is, how do we get them back into the ground?
Bert, Frank, we have a little problem.
4 left, 10 right.
It's all over everything! Stupid asshole! Watch your tongue, boy, if you like this job! Like this job!
Brain.
Medical science is baffled.
It's a puzzle. Because technically, you're not alive. Why do you eat people?
Not people. Brains.
How do you kill something that's already dead?
Well, how do I know, Fred? I don't know. Let me think.
It's not a bad question, Bert. In that movie, they destroyed the brain to kill him. Is that what they did?
The brains, right.
Brains.
Brain! The brain! I hit the brain! Oh! Get it off! Get it off! Get it off! Get it off! Get it off!
The military is nervous.
Usual crap.
The police are confused.
Send more cops.
It worked in the movie! Well, it ain't working now, Brain. The movie's line!
It's not a bad question, Bert. It's not a bad question, Bert. It's not a bad question, Bert.
The return of the living dead.
So, thank you for tuning in. This was my top 10 or top 12 favorite horror movies of all times. Please like and subscribe, and I want to know what's some of your favorite horror movies. So comment in the sections, let me know what it is, and I would love to engage with some conversations, and we can share ideas and opinions. So I'm Bud Haddonfield. This was The Last Video Store. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.
Michael Myers are the heroes of my past. Now the media is dying. Chucky and the zombies now Olympic cemetery. So bring me back those. I wanna come back to those times when all movies were so scary.